The first platform to break the truth has shed some light on the situation. 7 Robinson Lenny was victimized by a St. Louis firefighter. Make sure you like and share the video for awareness and subscribe for more content. Here's a reminder of what happened and what has transpired until this point.
What I thought was a police officer. I told him my visions was messed up, cause I was losing blood, I was coughing up blood. He kept asking me, what's your ID, your social, ID social, ID social. I keep holding my leg like this because my wallet was in there and I had money in there. I had my debit card, my credit cards, and my IDs. As soon as the medics come, the EMT, and it's time to get put on the stretcher, he slipped my ID in my pocket and then gave me my wallet. I didn't think none of the situation. I'm like, he probably gave it to Alicia, it's handled, it's good. After you just seen some deceased people, you would take something from somebody.
On February 26, 2023, after being in an horrific accident that claimed the lives of 4 of his friends and critically injured 3 others, 7 Robinson Lenny had to fight for more than his life. Suffering from life-altering injuries and blurred vision, 7 gave a firefighter his wallet as requested for identification purposes. Before 7 was placed in an ambulance, his ID was returned to him but not his wallet. Dealing with bigger pains, 7 wasn't able to inquire about his wallet until his discharge from the hospital a couple days later. To his surprise, he found out that his debit card had been used 3 different times at 2 separate locations. An investigation has revealed that the culprit was a St. Louis City Fire Department firefighter. The name of the firefighter has not been released, and the community is asking why is it taking so long for St. Louis Metropolitan Police to make an arrest. It's been over a month since the complaint has been filed for this savage act. I caught up with 7 Robinson Lenny at the intersection of the crash and the subsequent theft to get an update.
Tell us exactly what happened.
So, about 1 o'clock in the morning, we coming off the highway, we get smacked, we flip over, fall down. 4 people survived, 4 people died. Me and Courtney called out. My cousin Elijah was already out the car. A random lady came and helped us. She was a nurse. The SLUE campus police brushed her off, told her they had it. By then the regular St. Louis Police Department was down here, and then firefighter, everybody came. So when the firefighters arrived, they asked for your ID and your social. The man was demanding my ID and my social. And if you watch the videos, I'm holding my right pocket like this because I don't want to lose my wallet. And I told him I couldn't see his badge name, so I didn't really want to give him my stuff. I said, bro, I can't see your name. I was losing too much blood to where I was losing vision in my right and left eye. I handed him my wallet. I told him to give it to Alicia Wayne, which was a mother on the scene. She was right next to me, and he told me that he got me. I didn't receive my wallet, so by the time I got on the stretcher, he handed me my driver's permit and not my state ID. I didn't think none of it. I thought that he did his job and he gave my wallet to the person I told him to give it to, but he didn't. I get to Barnes, my mother's there, and I asked her, does she have my wallet or did Alicia have my wallet? She said no. I get home from the hospital 2 days later. 2 days later, and I saw charges on my bank account that wasn't me. So, if charges on your bank account, the cash I had in my wallet is gone, and the gift cards I had in my wallet is gone.
Now a victim of possible felony theft, 7 is out of over $700 in cash, $100 in birthday gift cards, and multiple charges on his credit cards. I asked,
what happened when you realized that your wallet was used and there was charges on the card?
He filed a police report.
You know how many times the card was used?
3 times. 3 different transactions on the same day.
And that was?
At Waterway twice and a gas station.
So he was out trying to get his car washed and gas up. And we've seen a couple reports that showed that was done early in the morning, so
probably when he got off work, it was around like 6 o'clock, 6:05 a.m.
The transaction was at 6:05 a.m.?
Early in the morning, or the day of the accident, February 26, 2023.
So, damn. Hearing that means that they didn't clear the bodies out till 6 o'clock. No sooner than they got them out the way, he was at the car wash.
He was home.
Spinning the cash. Wow.
The crash was horrific enough, but to have a trusted individual stealing from a victim is alarming. This seems, however, to be a regular practice among firefighters, as a diamond ring could be worth more than your life if opportunity is presented.
I don't believe his blood brother done told us that's a part of their job. He say his brother tell him every day. He say this is an example compared to the car accident. He say if it was a burning house on fire and you see a diamond ring, you don't think you'll grab that? So he say the people's lives don't mean none to them. They're ready to go steal.
That was his analogy.
Or, you know,
that was the analogy he used.
That it was a firearm that was turned in separately because we asked about it.
They said they forgot they had it.
It was a firearm that was turned in separately. They had to go find it.
So who had that?
The
EMS, the
SLU or whoever, somebody.
Whoever was here on the scene, the first responders.
It's almost unfathomable to believe that something like this would happen, but it begs the question, was Seven the only victim? There were 3 young adults that couldn't speak that night, and despite the St. Louis police classifying that crash as a crime and treating the real 8 victims as suspects, they were outstanding coming-of-age adults. They all had jobs, and a few held down 2 jobs. They were loved by family and by the community. All the firearms and cash that was in the vehicle at the time of the crash was legally obtained, and now that an opportunity was presented, this unnamed firefighter took full advantage.
Unconsiderate, powerful human beings. This shows how we were screaming, help those children, and they was being labeled as suspects without even getting help right here. This screams that they didn't do their job right. They didn't want to do their job right. How you gonna confiscate evidence and then say you gonna turn it in days later after you make purchases? No, because y'all were focusing on the wrong thing. You don't take nobody belongings when their family member was here. We all was here screaming, those are our children. So why would you take something that didn't belong to you? Man, like.
And how he say it was his wife, and y'all name is nowhere near the same. How he get a wallet, a car out your wallet that probably don't even look like his at that.
Initials.
Right, how do that make sense? Oh, I put out the wrong wallet. Oh, I meant to give it to some, no.
The same way we was just focusing on them firearms.
He know he did not carry that much cash. He know them one of his cars. Make it make sense.
It's hard to make sense of a situation after a month of spotty communication and lack of information by police. At some point, you'd think they would backpedal just a little to be of assistance, but
we still unable to get the police report.
We still unable to get in the truck. We can't even get our cell phone.
I can't even get my license plate off
Because remember, it was a crime scene, but he wasn't charged. He was brought in for questioning.
Exactly.
So you're proving the point what crime was committed.
You're stealing from a crime scene, but you're not getting charged.
He would be the only person that committed a crime, but so why can't we get in the vehicle?
A crime over $500.
That's a felony.
That's intent to steal.
Wait, $1,200 he spent. We're over a felony. Let us go steal $1,200 from one of them. What's gonna be our outcome?
Knowing if the shoes were swapped, had Seven or Courtney committed a crime of such magnitude against the firefighter, they would have been charged and plastered over the news as heartless thieves. I asked Seven what justice looks like in this situation.
Justice, and when I say justice, it ain't just throwing somebody in a cell, because when I seen the video evidence, it don't look like that was his first time at the rodeo. And then he stole $20 from my cousin wallet. But since it's $20, we just kind of let it slide. But none should be let slide at that case, you know?
Seven wants to prosecute, but SLMPD is still investigating a month later, even though this incident was caught on surveillance camera as well as an officer's body cam, per a report by the St. Louis Post-Dispatch.
Yeah, if he thought that it was his own money that he was spending,
that proves that he has it. If he said he thought it was, I thought it was this, you're proving that you have the wallet. That's the case closed. So what's the questioning?
A negative picture has been painted of our youth in St. Louis that has turned them all into criminals. A city with no resources for the youth or young adults. This group had formed a bond and was working on being productive citizens for the community of St. Louis. Through no actions of their own, they became the victim of someone's drinking and violating traffic signals. It's almost frightening to know that, Help is very limited when needed in St. Louis, but the risk of being robbed by first responders is just as great as any.
What made you steal from that type of a deadly situation? I personally can't wrap my head around that I would take from a deadly situation. That's what don't make sense. It's more of, I want to understand what was going on through your head or what you were struggling with that bad financially, physically, emotionally that made you take something from a deadly situation.
I wanna ask, why were they so busy digging in pockets and not in that truck, checking for lives to get those kids out of that truck?
Tell them again, sister.
I want to know, why were you checking pockets instead of checking the truck for lives and seeing who was still breathing, who was unconscious, and who had a pulse? That's what really mattered, not identification at that moment. Them lives what mattered. Y'all let them kids hang in that truck for so long, well over 3 hours. Well over 3 hours. Man.
This has been Street Talk. We'll see you on the next one.